Success is never an accident. It is the result of deliberate action fueled by a clear and definite purpose. Without a strong reason to keep moving forward, even the most talented individuals falter. But when purpose burns brightly within the heart, it becomes a driving force that commands every thought, every choice, and every step. It is not enough to merely want success. One must fix their mind firmly on a specific objective and resolve that nothing will deter them from reaching it. Definitiveness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. It acts like a guiding star, offering direction when the path grows dark and uncertain. People often lose their way, not because they lack strength or intelligence, but because they are drifting without a true aim. Their mind without a goal is like a ship without a rudder, subject to the tides, the winds, and the storms of life. But once a goal is set and embraced with passion, every fiber of one's being can be focused toward its realization. There is extraordinary power in clarity. When you know exactly what you are striving for, you make decisions faster. You waste less energy on distractions. You do not pause to wonder whether to continue when obstacles arise, because you are anchored by a reason greater than any temporary hardship. The person who clings tightly to a specific purpose will find that their determination multiplies with each passing challenge. The importance of forcing oneself to keep going cannot be overstated. There will be moments when enthusiasm fades, when energy wanes, and when doubt creeps into the mind. It is precisely in these moments that definiteness of purpose proves its value. Purpose is the fuel that propels the weary traveler. Purpose is the voice that says, "Push forward," when every fiber of your body pleads for rest. Purpose is the secret strength that turns ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. When you commit to a definite purpose, you tap into reserves of strength you never knew you had. Minor failures, rejections, and criticisms lose their power to dissuade you. They become mere pebbles in the road rather than insurmountable barriers, because you are no longer motivated by mere emotion which fluctuates day to day. You are moved by a mission. Purpose transforms emotion into conviction, and conviction into action. Moreover, definiteness of purpose compels discipline. Discipline is not something reserved only for the few. It is cultivated by those who have something worth striving for. When the goal is compelling enough, discipline stops being a burden and becomes a natural extension of desire. You rise early because your dream demands it. You stay late because your future insists upon it. You endure the tedious, the difficult, and the uncomfortable not because you enjoy them, but because you recognize them as necessary steps on the path to your destiny. A definite purpose also sharpens your ability to recognize opportunity. The world is full of possibilities, but only those who know what they seek can recognize the tools and chances that will move them forward. To the drifter, every road looks the same, but to the focused mind, the right road becomes unmistakable. Opportunities seem to appear more often, not by accident, but because purpose tunes your mind to see what was hidden in plain sight all along. In forcing yourself to keep going, the most important thing to remember is that hardship is not a sign that you are on the right. Of course, growth happens at the edge of discomfort. Progress is born from persistence. A clear purpose enables you to view obstacles not as stop signs, but as indicators that you are moving beyond your previous limits into new territory. To succeed in anything meaningful, it is not enough to drift along, hoping for a lucky break. Luck favors the mind that is ready, focused, and determined. Luck, when analyzed, is often simply the residue of deliberate, purposeful effort sustained over time. Purpose acts as the governor of your actions and the shield against discouragement. It ensures that even on the toughest days, when every part of you begs to quit, there is a louder inner voice that says, "Keep going. This is who you are. This is what you are destined for." Therefore, fix in your heart a definite purpose. Let it consume your thoughts. Let it mold your habits. Let it command you. steps. And when the storms of life come, as they surely will, you will not be swept away. You will stand firm, forcing yourself to move forward one determined step after another until you arrive triumphantly at the destination you once dreamed about. The greatest struggles a person faces are not external. They are not the competitors, the critics, or the unpredictable forces of life. The real battle takes place quietly within the chambers of the mind. It is the ongoing war between faith and fear, action and hesitation, persistence and surrender. Every achievement, every breakthrough, every success first begins with a victory inside. Conquering the inner doubts and defeating the voice that says you can't is the true foundation of greatness. Many people spend their lives blaming circumstances or waiting for perfect conditions. They believe that external obstacles are what hold them back. But history proves time and time again that individuals have risen from poverty, from disadvantage, from obscurity, and achieved greatness, not because their external circumstances changed first, but because they won the inner battle against discouragement and despair. The difference between success and failure lies primarily in mastering the silent struggles within the mind. Self-doubt is one of the fiercest enemies. It creeps in unnoticed, whispering that the goal is too big, that the dream is too far out of reach. It tells you to turn back when the road becomes steep. If left unchallenged, it can paralyze ambition and shrink potential. But when you confront self-doubt with determination, when you acknowledge its voice but refuse to obey it, you strengthen your character. Each small act of courage, each decision to keep moving forward despite fear, is a small victory that compounds over time. Another enemy within is the temptation to give up when progress is slow. In the early stages of any great endeavor, results are invisible. Weeks, months, even years may pass without clear evidence of success. The mind, craving immediate rewards, will urge you to quit, to find an easier path. But real progress is often hidden beneath the surface, like the roots of a mighty oak growing deep before the tree ever rises above the earth. Trusting this invisible progress is essential. Persistence during these times is the true mark of a warrior. Negative thinking is another battle fought internally. The world outside offers enough challenges without allowing the mind to be filled with thoughts of failure, weakness, and despair. To succeed, the mind must become a fortress of positive expectation. Every setback must be interpreted as a lesson. Every criticism must be seen as an opportunity to grow. This mental discipline is not natural at first, but with practice it becomes a powerful habit. Just as the body is strengthened by exercise, the mind is fortified by choosing positive, empowering thoughts again and again. Fear is perhaps the oldest and most persistent adversary. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of ridicule, fear of the unknown. Fear, if left unchecked, freezes action and keeps dreams locked away. But fear is also a signal, proof that you are on the verge of growth. Facing fear is not about eliminating it completely. It is about acting courageously despite it. Every act of courage strengthens the will and weakens the grip of fear. Action is the antidote to fear, and the more you move forward, the more fear loses its power. The strongest battles are fought internally because true success demands the transformation of the self. The person who begins a journey must evolve into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Challenges are not designed to defeat you, they are designed to develop you. Each internal battle won is a step closer to becoming the person capable of achieving the dream. There will be days when the struggle feels overwhelming, days when the doubts seem louder than your determination, days when fear clouds your vision. These are the critical moments that define your path. Choosing to stand firm, choosing to take one more step, choosing to believe when belief feels difficult. These small victories compound into unstoppable momentum. Remember that the mind is both a battlefield and a weapon. You must train it, sharpen it, and discipline it daily. Victory in the external world is simply a reflection of victory within. To master your mind and you master your destiny. In the end, it is not the external challenges that determine your fate. It is the quiet, unseen battles of the mind that shape the course of your life. The strongest battles are fought within, and those who dare to fight and win those battles will rise, unstoppable, to meet their highest potential. Pain is an inevitable part of growth. It is the signal that change is happening, that you are being stretched beyond your comfort zone. While pain may feel overwhelming in the moment, it is important to recognize that it is temporary, it passes, it fades. But the strength, wisdom, and power gained from enduring it remain forever. Every great achievement has been paid for with moments of struggle. Behind every triumph are countless hours of doubt, fatigue, and frustration. Those who rise to greatness do so not because they were spared from difficulty, but because they learned to endure it. They understood that pain was not a punishment, it was preparation. It was the fire that would forge their spirit and make them unbreakable. The human spirit is incredibly resilient. Often people underestimate their ability to withstand hardship. When faced with pain, whether physical, emotional, or mental, there is a tendency to believe it will last forever. Yet history and experience teach a different lesson. Pain is fleeting, but the personal transformation it causes is permanent. Every time you push through discomfort, you add another layer of strength to your character. Pain refines you. It strips away weakness. It exposes areas where growth is needed. Without struggle, there is no incentive to evolve. Comfort breeds complacency, while discomfort demands improvement. Pain forces you to adapt, to rethink, to become better. In enduring it, you are not only surviving, you are being shaped into someone more capable, more courageous, and more powerful. It is easy to be motivated when everything is going smoothly. True strength, however, is revealed during times of adversity. When you are tired, but you choose to work anyway. When you are discouraged, but you choose to believe anyway. When you are afraid, but you choose to move forward anyway. These decisions, made in moments of difficulty, create a lasting power that no one can take away from you. Short-term suffering for long-term strength is a trade only the wise are willing to make. They understand that temporary pain is a small price to pay for lasting victory. They do not seek to avoid hardship, they embrace it, knowing that each challenge overcome is a stepping stone to greater heights. Every tear, every sacrifice, every sleepless night is building a foundation of resilience that will serve them for the rest of their lives. There is also a hidden gift within pain: perspective. When you have walked through darkness, you appreciate the light even more. When you have struggled for success, you value it more deeply. Easy victories are often taken for granted, but the rewards earned through perseverance are cherished forever. Pain deepens gratitude and sharpens vision. It reminds you of what matters most and strengthens your resolve to protect it. In facing pain head-on, you also become an inspiration to others. Your endurance becomes a beacon of hope. Your ability to withstand hardship gives others permission to believe they can do the same. Your story of perseverance becomes a testament that power is born not from ease, but from struggle, endurance, and ultimate triumph. So when pain comes, and it will, do not run from it. Do not curse it. Welcome it as a temporary guest. Learn from it. Grow through it. And know with absolute certainty that while pain is fleeting, the power you build by enduring it will last a lifetime. Pain is temporary. Power is eternal. Choose to endure, and you will claim strength that will take you far beyond the moments of hardship. Fear is a natural part of life. It arises whenever we step beyond the boundaries of the familiar, whenever we dare to dream bigger, reach higher, or attempt something we have never done before. Fear whispers doubts into our ears, paints worst-case scenarios in our minds, and tries to convince us that retreat is the safest option. But fear in itself is not the enemy. It only becomes a threat when it is allowed to dominate our thinking and control our actions. Antidote to fear is not brute strength, nor is it stubborn denial. The true antidote is faith, unwavering belief in oneself, in the process, and in the outcome. Faith has the power to take the energy of fear and transform it into fuel for courage, determination, and resilience. It does not eliminate fear entirely, but it changes how fear is handled. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, those with faith are moved to action in spite of it. Faith begins with a decision, a conscious choice to believe in possibilities rather than limitations. It is a commitment to trust the unseen, to step forward even when the path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. Every great endeavor in history began with a leap of faith. The explorer setting sail into unknown waters, the inventor working tirelessly on an idea the world laughed at, the entrepreneur risking everything for a vision only they could see. None of them could guarantee success. What they could do, and what they did, was choose faith over fear. When you choose to believe that success is possible, even when all evidence seems to say otherwise, you engage in incredible inner power. The mind, once fixed in belief, begins to see opportunities where it once only saw obstacles. It starts searching for solutions instead of focusing on problems. Energy that would have been consumed by worry and doubt is now channeled into creativity and action. Faith shifts your internal dialogue from "what if I fail" to "what if I succeed?" One of the greatest gifts of faith is fortitude, the strength of mind and spirit to endure adversity without surrender. Fortitude is what keeps you moving forward when the road is long and lonely. It is the quiet voice that says, "Keep going," when exhaustion tempts you to quit. It is the deep inner knowing that no matter how fierce the storm, you are capable of weathering it and emerging stronger. Building faith requires discipline. It is not a passive feeling that simply appears. It is an active force that must be nurtured daily. It starts with the thoughts you allow to occupy your mind. Positive affirmations, visualization of success, gratitude for what is already good. These are the picket viaduct. Practices that fortify faith. Surrounding yourself with encouragement, reading stories of perseverance, and reflecting on your own past victories all help to strengthen your belief that you are capable of achieving more. It is important to understand that fear and faith are often present simultaneously. They exist side by side. The key is not to eliminate fear completely, but to starve it of attention and feed faith instead. Every time you act with courage, even when afraid, you reinforce the dominance of faith over fear. With every brave step forward, faith grows stronger and fear weakens. Another powerful truth is that faith is most valuable precisely when circumstances are most difficult. When everything is going well, it is easy to believe. But real faith shines brightest in the darkness. It is in moments of uncertainty, when the odds seem stacked against you, that faith becomes your greatest ally. It reminds you that setbacks are not final, that obstacles are not immovable, and that your dreams are worth fighting for. Faith also gives you the patience to understand that success is a journey, not a moment. Progress may be slow, results may take time, there may be detours, failures, and unforeseen challenges along the way. But faith sustains you through the delays to allow you to persist with a calm mind and a hopeful heart, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your ultimate goal. Well, faith transforms your relationship with fear itself. Instead of seeing fear as a signal to stop, you begin to see it as a sign that you are growing. Fear becomes a guidepost, pointing you toward areas where you have the most potential for expansion. You recognize that fear shows up when you are on the verge of becoming more than you were before, and with this new perspective, you welcome fear as an ally in your journey, not an enemy to avoid. Another transformation brought by faith is the ability to inspire others. When people see someone acting boldly, fueled by belief instead of crippled by fear, they are moved. They are reminded of their own inner strength. Your courage becomes contagious. Your faith becomes a light for those who are struggling to find their way. By choosing faith, you not only change your own life, but you create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Faith also teaches you to trust yourself deeply. To know that even when mistakes are made, even when plans fall apart, you have the ability to recover, to learn, and to rise again. You stop seeking constant reassurance from the outside world and begin to find confidence from within. This trust is unshakable. It cannot be stolen or destroyed by anyone else because it is rooted in experience. In the countless times you moved forward despite fear and discovered strength you didn't know you had, in the end, every dream worth chasing demands that you face fear. Every bold move requires that you confront doubt, but with faith, fear loses its power. Faith turns trembling into tenacity. Faith turns hesitation into momentum. Faith transforms fear into fortitude. Choose to believe in your strength even when fear tries to convince you otherwise. Choose to trust the journey even when the destination is not yet in sight. Choose to act with courage even when you feel uncertain. Because in the contest between fear and faith, it is faith that builds empires, writes history, and carves pathways where none seemed possible. Faith does not eliminate fear. It transcends it, overcomes it, and ultimately transforms it into the driving force behind your greatest achievements.